Welcome to Darren's Disc Picks. If you found your way here, I'm sorry. I'm sure you have 100 better things to do. Get out and walk, go play with the dog, do some chores, mow the lawn, anything else but this. I think this may be the penultimate site, close to the end of the internet. The only thing left is 8 is enough fan fiction down the hall, and then I think you can close the door on the internet. So, Darren's Disc Picks, what are we doing here? I will be picking discs from my collection to show you. I have many discs to pick from, and even some pick discs from which to pick. My discs come in many sizes. 7-inch, some 7-inch flexies, 10-inch, but mostly good old 12-inch vinyl. Quick shout out to Stephen O'Connor. I got this picture disc of Ozzy, and I appreciate him, and I appreciate the fact that he isn't one of these people that has gone and jacked up all the Ozzy Osbourne merchandise. So, mad props to him and to the other fine collectors in my community who never ever gouge after the passing of one of our heroes. So today in this edition, I'm going to be showing you 9 new albums by newish artists, and that's anything after 2000 in my opinion, especially to a lot of people. There are a lot of people, especially Gen Xers like me, who think that nothing good got put out after 1989 or something like that, and that's kind of sad, but I try to show them the light. I continue to suck up music, it has to, so new, so raw it bleeds, and I just can't get enough music, especially on vinyl. So I would like to share my vinyl collection with everybody. I don't collect to just hoard and keep it only to myself, but I don't get a lot of people over either to share it with. So I've got 9 albums by 9 different artists, and we'll hop right into it with Long Player by Die Fantastischen Bier, German obviously. It's German hip hop. I didn't know I needed this in my life until I heard a band that I like was playing on a few tracks with them. So this is pretty amazing stuff. I think you should give it a spin somewhere. It takes its cues from old school hip hop. The title tracks stand out, as well as VV. I think that's how that's pronounced. So the band that got me on to that is a favorite of mine, 3-piece, now a 4-piece from Germany, Kadavar, and yes, it's Kadavar and not Cadaver. I heard them talking about it in an interview once. It's stoner krautrock. This album is called I Want to Be a Sound. My wife says it about sums me up, and that she'll probably play it at my funeral one day, and that will summarize my entire life. Title track's great, as well as Scar on My Guitar. Influences are definitely Black Sabbath and earlier krautrock. If you look up some of their older music, there's a song called Doomsday Machine, which got me hooked on them, which could have easily been 70s Black Sabbath. The next album we have is Hydra. I suppose it's either an alternative spelling, or that's the way they want to have it pronounced. It's metal, folk metal. Standout tracks are Dusk and Retribution's Dawn. For people who like Hammerfall and Amon Amarth, you'd probably dig this quite a bit, so check this out, and they are Danish. Switching completely around, we got Chappell Roan. This is just batshit crazy in the most wonderful way. Clearly her influences are people like Madonna and Lady Gaga. This album is just chock full of hits. Hot to Go, Pink Pony Club. I had the fortune of seeing her last year before she completely blew up, when we were in Asheville, North Carolina. Prayers for North Carolina and Asheville. It was destroyed a little bit later that year. Fortunately, the music clubs were up the hill, but the entire river district just got decimated. Places that we saw, and even people we knew who had businesses there. So but a good memory is at Rabbit Rabbit with 3,000 of our favorite crazy gays and theys. It was just a lot of fun. Next, we go to Norway. Green Carnation, currently one of my favorite bands. It's a bucket list show for me to see, and surprise, we're taking a quick hop down to Atlanta next week to see them at Prog Power on the first night. I had to choose one night. There are bands I want to see each night, but I will definitely take Green Carnation in one night in Atlanta. Prog Metal has 5 songs on this album. Title track, Leaves of Yesteryear is great. Sentinels is a total banger. They also do a cover of Solitude from Black Sabbath. I think that's off Masters of Reality. I suggest you check these guys out. They have a new trilogy of albums coming out starting this fall. My wife, being humorous like she is, and having learned a few things about progressive rock and prog metal from me, says, "Oh, 3 albums. That could be as many as 6 new songs." And she completely gets it. Next, sticking with the green theme, we have Green Lung from the UK. And it's doom, stoner, occult. They take their lead from Sabbath and other doom metal, and maybe things like Coven from the 70s in that occultish vein. Standout tracks: Forest Church and Mountain Throne. But if you dig Sabbath, Rainbow, things like that, good old 70s, you'll like these guys. Next, Clutch. Sunrise on Slaughter Beach. Clutch, they're just up the road from Frederick, Maryland. They're just an amazing band to see. They're loud, they're proud, they're rock and roll. But also, having heard Neil Fallon talk about growing up in DC, he integrates a lot of go-go touches and feels, DC go-go music, to his albums and songs, which if you know what to listen to, you'll say, "Oh, of course, that's the influence there." It gets lumped into stoner, but it's just good old rock and roll. Standout tracks: Slaughter Beach, as well as Nosferatu Madre, favorite of my wife. I think my wife actually likes Clutch more than I do at this point, which is a crazy win, and 30 years in the making, getting her into some of the rock and roll I'm into. Number 8, we have Fires in the Distance, Air Not Meant for Us. This album has been on my turntable quite a bit. It's one of those albums that if you start playing it, you kind of have to listen to it from front to end. It's definitely influenced by some melodeath, especially from the Scandinavian peninsula. Things like Insomnium, Swallow the Sun, and Dark Tranquility. The standout tracks so far for me are Harbinger, but like I said, really the whole album has to be listened to from start and finish whenever it goes on my player. These folks are from the US. And we will end today with Wayfarer. The album's called American Gothic, and it's Western black metal. It's a crazy sounding genre, but when you start listening to it, they're from Colorado, from the US, and you start hearing the Western tinges. And I'm not talking about country, I'm talking about just some classic, you'd have to listen to it. Probably some influences are things like Emperor and Wolves of the Throne Room. Black metal for me seems to be getting more accessible. I don't know if it's me leaning into harder to black metal, or black metal taking on some other genres and maybe a little bit more towards melodic death metal and death metal, but it could just be on continue to get more hardcore. Standout tracks: Thousand Tombs of Western Promise, but again, just listen to the whole album. It's totally worth it. I got put onto this by somebody from Colorado, dude in our record community, Stephen Verwanger. Thank you, Stephen. And I think he even sent me this record after I missed their concert here in town. So thank you for hanging out and listening to Darren's Disc Picks. I'll have another episode queued up soon, and somewhere I have my magic button to stop this. 3, 2, 1, poof.